Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Now, let's get to the show.
O-T-I-G-E-S,
Tigers.
I just spelled it wrong because I'm so hyping out of it.
I was like, wait, did I spell it wrong?
No, I
Or you
skipped a
just
letter.
T-I-G-E.
My heart rate hasn't come back down.
Woo. Are you?
Laka is the island way to say we're going to the Final Four. What an absolute freaking opening game in the Maui Invitational. Not just for us because we won, but just as a college basketball fan on Feast Week, does it get any better at the Maui?
I just want to say this to college basketball fans. You're welcome, bro. You are welcome.
No, get it. Wow.
Yeah.
Before we get too deep into this, I am playing catch up. Notice, ladies and gentlemen, it's a two-man show tonight with Kenny and myself because TJ again is gone for like the 6th or 7th time this season.
I don't know what's going on with him.
Gator Patrol. I think TJ did this 2 weeks ago when I was out of town with the fam. So I am playing catch up, and I'll tell you what, off the bat, that's a taste of sweet, sweet victory. Taste of Danny Hurley tears in my mouth.
I have a feeling that this one's going to get a high score just because you could be drinking like
it doesn't matter. I could be drinking Gator piss, and
you could be drinking rainwater right now, and
everything tastes better after a Maui win. By the way, 6th appearance in the Maui tournament. We are now, as a program, Kenny.
Yeah,
5-1 in opening round games in the Maui Invitational.
So what you're telling me is we're the best team ever.
Currently, we might actually be. We might be after today's performance. And I'm rewatching the game right now. I may watch it 3 or 4 times tonight alone. Shout out to the Memphis contingent that showed up and showed out, and that
it sounded good.
It sounded good. It looked good. And before I forget about it, if anybody can get me in contact with the gentleman who was there this evening or this morning, very early island time, 9:30 a.m., that was in the Peyton Manning jersey from the Denver Broncos time period, let me get his contact info because I'm going to send him one of these bad boys.
Yes.
I'm going to FedEx it to him. I work for the FedEx company. We'll get it overnighted so he can have it on tomorrow when we make the championship game, because this will be releasing Tuesday. So we're in the semifinals, but I need my man wearing some Memphis blue come Wednesday in the championship ball game.
Yeah, this will be coming out before the Tigers face off against the mighty Michigan State Spartans.
Kenny, your Hardwood Tigs are 5-0. And let me just, obviously, you still got quite a bit of a little over halfway through the out of conference left to go. But I'm going to be the first to apologize.
Yeah, you should. Yep, absolutely.
Because I said,
yep,
the non-con might be rough. We might get to a spot where we're looking at 500 or sub 500. And if you'd have told me we'd be sitting here today on Monday, November 25th at 5-0 with a win over the number 2 team in the country, I'd have told you you're a nut job.
Bathing in the tears of UConn fans that are in our YouTube comments going crazy. I love it. Hey, cry.
I'd have told you were a nut job, maybe more so than Dan Hurley.
Yeah.
Because that dude is a
psycho.
He's got some
serious anger problems he needs to work through.
It's very entertaining to watch.
It's almost as bad as he's almost as bad as grown men that make burner accounts and talk to each other
with them
with each burner account.
Yeah, that is weird. That's next level stuff. But Kenny, I mean, absolutely. We talked about it from a college basketball fan perspective. What an entertaining game. 99-97, I think was the final. 99-97. But even just from a Memphis, we played so well today.
Oh God, dude.
So well. The storyline, the first 3 of 4 games, I would say, has been slow starts and getting down
halftime adjustments.
10 plus points, and then coming out and just running away with it in the second half, scoring 50 plus.
Right.
And today, it was 39 minutes of I felt like we controlled the entire game.
Yeah.
The defensive effort was there the entire time. You were forcing UConn to start their offense.
Like,
You were making them play so high.
yeah.
They're getting into stuff with 10
12
seconds on
left.
the 12 seconds on the shot clock, and they're at damn near midcourt still.
Yeah, trying to figure out how to enter get their entry pass to start their offense. Like,
Um, offensively, nutso. I mean, was it 2 games ago, we were leading the nation in three-point shooting percentage, and I think people were like,
uh,
kind of obviously, it's a goofy thing. They shot 73% the other night. That's really we honestly may be the best three-point shooting team in the country. And it's not that they fire them there. It's not an Alabama situation. They're not shooting
no,
43s a night,
they
and
shot
I don't think
22
they need
three
to.
pointers. They shot
Right.
22 3-pointers.
They don't need to. They're making 8 or 9, 10 a game, but they're making them at a high clip. Freaking Tyrese Hunter today,
Good lord.
7 threes.
Good lord.
How loose are those rims, though? By
Nice.
golly, that 7th one he made was not. It ain't often you see one come off the front of the rim, hit the backboard, and go in. That was impressive stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't have been more pleased with what I saw. Obviously, you had the collapse. Well, can you call it a collapse since they still pulled it out?
I mean, yeah, you can call it they gave up a lead, right?
In the wise words of Christopher Crawford, their booty holes got tight.
Their booty holes got tight. Yeah.
A little bit tight.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think you want that to be tight so there's not any leakage. But at certain points, you could over-tighten. And they got a little over-tightened. What was it, 2.5 minutes left, and you were up 10?
They're up by 13 with 3 minutes left, and they end up going into overtime.
You look like you're about to run them off the floor. Metrics-wise, the computers were going to love it. Going to absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Outside of the collapse, so a minute and a half of the game, I mean, you were in total control. Offensively, you were getting whatever you want. Defensively, you were making it difficult for UConn. Now, I know they scored 97. UConn shot what, 40-something% from the field?
Let me look at the box
49, almost 50. We shot 54%. 54.5 from 3 to their 46. I mean, 72% from the free throw line. You had 30 rebounds to their 33. That was the story coming in. Was everybody talking about, was Memphis going to be able to keep up with them rebounding wise? You gave up 14 offensive rebounds, but I don't feel like it killed you. The biggest thing for them, honestly, UConn, was Reed coming in the first half.
Yeah.
And
he's better than that than the other big. What's his name?
I mean, he played like it today for sure. And I mean, Billis and Schulman were saying sometimes styles of games fit guys better. They're more suited for that. And I think today was that with Reed. But how much fun was it for periods of time to sit there and watch Dane and Reed go back and forth?
It was a phenomenal matchup between the two.
It really, I mean, it was
two bigs with great footwork that have mobility at their size, that were just going back and forth. It was great. It was great competition.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
I think the narrative walking away from this needs to be UConn played a fine game. Like they weren't bad. They played well. Tigers
Both teams better. Played very well.
Tigers were just better. Was it probably, you've watched a lot of college basketball. That has to rank way up there just in terms of overall game, right? Like it's just, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Even as a general fan, like that was a good basketball game to watch.
Yes,
both teams were making shots. They had post guys that were playing well. There were defensive plays left and right. I mean, there was excitement in the sense of some technical fouls and other stuff, which, I mean, isn't always the best. But, I mean, just that was the biggest part to me, was like, I was thinking it at halftime and early parts of the second half. It was like, even if we don't pull this out today, like this team, they look good. They're having fun, and it's making the viewing experience, especially as a fan, fun. And that's what I feel like that's what we've missed.
Yes, 100%.
Not every single night. Not we've obviously had fun games, especially basketball wise, beating Houston countless times. We've had other matchups that have been fun, but it was
That Alabama game in 21, remember that game?
right.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was a point in time where it was like almost every night that we had a big time matchup, the game was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we had a stretch there with a couple of different coaches where it was if we ever had a big name opponent, I mean, Passner, it took him, heaven
Years.
forbid, 26 times to try to beat a ranked team.
Yeah.
This is our, if not counting the exhibitions, because they don't count, their practice, this is our 5th straight win against a ranked team. Did you know that?
Crazy, man.
This is also the first neutral site loss for UConn in 19 games. They'd won 18 straight neutral site. 12 of those are obviously NCAA tournament wins. It's the first time in 3 years that they've lost a home or neutral site game against a non-conference opponent. 3 years. Penny stays ending program streaks. Does he not? I mean, you
He's
talk
got
about the Houston home winning streak he ended, the Tennessee home winning streak, which is like one of the longest ever in the nation.
yeah.
Just ended this streak for UConn that hadn't lost a non-conference game in forever. Hadn't lost since last February, period.
And he's also 3-1 versus Dan
And
Hurley.
he's 3-1 versus who should I was about to say who should have been the Lakers head coach, but can you imagine his antics on an NBA
No.
sideline?
No.
That would have been unreal.
People think JJ Redick is crazy because he has these intense looks and he uses the F word in press conferences. Could you imagine if Dan Hurley?
Did you see what somebody just sent me the tweet of why he got the technical at the, which, by the way, how dumb are you to get that technical at that point in time?
Thank you for the tech.
I mean, yeah, thank you so much. But as a UConn fan, I would be absolutely lit. You gave us 4 free throws in a tie ball game. What, 40 seconds left? How much time was left when we shot
He was
those free
banking.
throws?
It was like 55 seconds, I think, or something like that. 50 seconds. He was banking on the fact that the refs would not call a tech at that point of the game. But if what is being reported that he said is true, he should have been thrown out. He should have been thrown out.
I mean, especially based on what had happened previously. But if you haven't seen it, I mean,
we can't say it on.
He called the ref an effing R word.
Yeah,
tonight.
He should have been thrown out. Is what he should.
Yeah.
He should have been ejected. He should have been. Bro, that man's a psycho. Like
he would have been if they'd called the first one on the bench on him.
Right. They called it on the. He said they called it on a trainer.
No, they just said the bench. He said in his post game it was the trainer, mumbled something under his breath, and then said he really is a good guy. And I'm like, I'm not confident that wasn't you, and you're just saying it was your trainer.
100%.
Not at all.
I'm like, bro, act like you've been there before. Like you've lost a game. You lost a game.
He came out. Did you see what he said about the officiating?
Oh yeah.
And said something like, you come to one of these events as back-to-back national champions, you would think the officiating wouldn't go that, or something to that effect. And I'm like, dude, just give us freaking credit.
He's not, because he hasn't lost.
There were not enough. There were not really any I mean, they're complaining about the over the back rebound. 100%.
He was over the back. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, okay, he high pointed the ball. He went through PJ Carter's back to get it.
But your chest was on his back. I mean, that is literally if you went to the dictionary, that is the picture in the book of over the back.
He said,
if your chest is over.
Yeah.
I mean,
he gave the game away and said he was, the Memphis player gave a half-assed effort, was flailing around. I'm like, he was flailing around because your guy was in his back. Like you think you're just flailing on part? Like,
I mean, that also doesn't granted, maybe it's because we won, but like you don't hear us bitching about the fact that Dane got a technical when his guy now maybe Musa flopped a little or sold it.
That doesn't matter.
He straight up shoved him after it's a dead ball. You just shove a guy, and then Dane runs up and just gets in somebody's face, which happens every night in a college basketball game.
Did he actually get in his face, or was he just
he
there
just ran up and like bodied him and said something to him? Like, I'm sure sticking up for Musa and just saying like,
Don't do that.
F you, homeboy, whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't technical worthy. I mean,
No.
that stuff happens like every play.
Yeah.
There was no reason for that to be a double tech at all.
And but we knew it was going to be a double tech.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, talking about the officiating, I hadn't heard so much damn cylinder talk in my entire life. There were so many cylinder calls tonight. What the hell is everybody's got an invisible cylinder around them. You invade that thing, they're reviewing it.
They're reviewing it.
But I mean, I'll say this. I think it was a good game between two very high level teams, and it didn't feel like, sure, there's questionable calls here and there, but this didn't feel like a game that the refs like overshadowed what those two teams put out on the floor.
My question to the UConn fans, to Dan Hurley, to everybody who comments about the reffing, do you honestly believe that if those one or two calls that had gone that you feel like went against you would change the outcome of the game? Like I don't buy it. Like Dan, your actions,
right? Him saying what he said to the ref to get a tech in that moment was more
impactful
than the foul call originally.
100%.
Because we would have shot 2 free throws, which PJ would have made because he made them, and then you get the ball back down a possession. And there's no telling what happens.
Now you get the ball back down
But
2 possessions.
You made it a 2-possession game,
yeah,
with under a minute left because of your actions. They didn't call a 4-shot over the back foul. So, anyway, I don't feel sorry for him. I'm sure as a UConn fan, they probably love him to death. Obviously, winning back-to-back titles, they probably love his antics. I've never been a fan of him, even when we were playing him every year in conference, just the way he acts. Also, because when he was here, they were not good.
Dude, the stories I heard from you, the stories I heard from you about how he was on the sidelines at Memphis games, didn't he like try to attack some Memphis fan?
Yes, he's next level. Dude, I don't remember what game it was. I think somebody mentioned it in the Discord, but it was one of his first years when they were still in the American. They played at the Forum. They called a timeout, or it was a media timeout, and he literally walked across the entire floor to get into it with the fan in the section across from their bench.
Could you imagine if Penny Hardaway did 1/10 of the things that Dan Hurley did today?
Oh,
What the narrative about Penny Hardaway would be?
It wouldn't even be. People would be ripping him nationally. I still had people today trying to tell me that Penny can't coach.
Dude.
And I'm like, they hit a couple of threes. Sure, down the stretch we should have fouled, but Tyrese in the postgame said that was on him. He should have fouled, and he didn't foul. Yeah. I'm like, Penny coached his ass off today.
Penny has been coaching his ass off all year. He has been pressing the right buttons the entire year. He has been flawless in his coaching.
100%. And I put up the banner 15 minutes ago, it feels like. We're going to go all night. Do we have the best backcourt in the world right now in PJ Haggerty and Tyrese Hunter?
I'll tell you this.
Tyrese Hunter went absolutely berserk.
We have the toughest backcourt in the country, and you cannot tell me otherwise. There's nobody that's
we might have the toughest team in the country, to be honest with you.
Dude.
They keep going this route. Tyrese, 40 minutes. My man was 8 of 13 from the field, 7 of 10 from 3, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Had a board, 2 assists, a steal, only 2 turns, and 1 foul. 26 points. PJ, 22, 1 steal, 5 assists, 3 boards. Got to the line 14 times. The guy, his ability to draw fouls is unbelievable.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. Like it is a gift to be able to do what he does with the basketball in his hands offensively and to get to the free throw line. Yeah. I think the two of them together are going to, and I mean, you could throw Colby Rogers in there. Man. 3 of 6, hitting timely threes, stepped up in overtime and knocked down a huge one at the top of the key to tie it up.
2 of them. He knocked down 3.
Oh yeah, the one in the middle of the
yeah.
Kenny, I don't know what just happened, but your microphone went Dan Hurley on me berserk.
What did it do?
I couldn't hear you for a hot second.
Is it better now?
Yeah, we're good. Um, I'm all in on PJ and Tyrese as our backcourt. I love this team. I didn't know how to feel about him at the start of the season. I didn't know how to feel about him in the first 20 minutes against Mizzou in the first game.
Of course.
People were already writing the team off.
Well,
How silly do you feel now?
I would say this, man. Like, let's go back to the North Carolina Alabama exhibition games. One of the things that we knew coming in after those games, you saw the first half of both of those games. They were pretty well dominated in the first half because they just weren't running anything. They weren't running anything. They didn't have, but their defense in the second half, whoa, jeez. You all right? It's the Gator.
That tangerine cream went the wrong way. That
Gator
didn't sound
Patrol
right.
got you. They came up and bit you. No, but their defense from the beginning, even during those exhibition games, it was very clear they had an identity very quickly.
Yeah,
And the question was coming out of those was, can their offense catch up to what their defense is doing? And their offense has absolutely caught up. They are running.
100%.
They are producing shots out of almost every single possession. You're getting a good shot. Which,
Yeah,
how many
and that
times have we been able to say that about a Penny Hardaway team? Right?
not a lot. I mean, they're getting to their spots. They're getting it to the right guy, and they're making extra passes when they need to. I mean, they slow it down and feed Dane at the right times, right? Like, I just feel like this team does everything right.
They don't make mistakes. They don't make a
I
lot of
wouldn't go that
mistakes.
I wouldn't go that
They
far.
don't make a lot of mistakes, Trey. They don't.
Okay, a lot. You said don't make mistakes. They make some.
Plural.
They're just not they're not as glaring as previous teams.
They don't make back-breaking mistakes.
100, yeah.
That's how I put it. They don't make
Yeah.
back-breaking mistakes. They make
They
mistakes.
make back-breaking plays, breaking the
Boom.
opponent's back.
Boom.
Um, I
Hey,
just
man,
couldn't be more thrilled.
what's one thing that God never does?
Not got us.
What's one thing God never does? You gotta check Twitter. It's my new anthem.
I don't know.
He never fails, baby. That
Oh.
was Penny Hardaway's quote to the team right before they walked out on the floor. One thing God never does is fail.
I know he got us.
Let's go, boys. That's what he
Hey,
said. I was like, whoa.
what
This is
have we
fun.
done?
This has been fun. This is fun.
Yes. I mean, I think we knew it was a free shot, right? You wanted them to go out and not get embarrassed. I think Gary Parrish talked about it. Like, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
shocked if they beat UConn, but the thing is, like,
Just
go
don't.
out,
Yeah.
play tough, cover
Yep.
a 9-point spread, or at least just don't get down by 25 at some point and then, try to come back.
Right.
Just play a good game and don't get embarrassed. And they played more than that. They played more than a good game. They played really, really, really well.
Let me ask you this question. Memphis, at this point, has the third ranked hardest schedule so far this season in the NCAA.
Okay.
UConn has played 4 games. They're 4-0 before they faced off against the mighty Tigers, and had played teams that were, I think, all 4 of their wins were against teams that were top
Like 320 plus.
320 plus, right? How much of an impact does the schedule that Penny has put together dictate? Like, how much of an impact did it have today?
I think I said it earlier, and doing what he did, including the exhibition games, I think it's already paying dividends.
Yes.
I mean, you saw it today. I'm not going to sit here and say that's why we won, but
Right.
I'll tell you, for the first 15 minutes of that game, it was evident that UConn was thrown off by how physical and hard and talented we were, because they'd been playing the freaking likes of
Me and you.
Bluff City Media corporate league teams.
Right.
I mean, they're getting nothing out of that. And I was listening to Gary Parrish talk about the other day, just from the fact of a fan standpoint, like forget the team. How pissed off are you that a fourth of your home games have been against teams that are 320 plus in Kimpom, and you're back to back? You don't even have you don't have to go out and have played 4 ranked teams at this point, but at least like they could have played in Ohio, they could
Yeah.
have played a UNLV at home,
A
like,
San
you know what I mean?
Francisco a San Francisco in the Chase Center, you know what I'm saying?
100%. So I think ultimately UConn ended up settling in, but for sure that first 20 minutes of the first half, and I'm saying game time, I'm not saying just real time 15 minutes. I think it was evident that they were
They were
kinda
shook.
shell shocked
They were shook.
by.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell they looked like a team that was facing their first real test of the season.
That they were facing a team that was pushing back against them.
Yeah,
And
that threw honestly, I would say a team that threw the first punch. They won those 3 games by no less than 35 points in every one of them.
right,
Like that, they're getting nothing. I mean, they would have been better off doing inter-squad scrimmaging.
100%.
So, I'm not gonna say it's the sole reason that we won, but I think early on it definitely played a factor in kinda allowing us to get out to that quick start and get up by 6, 7 halfway through the first half for sure.
They were I just I love the intentionality that Penny is showing with what he does out there on the floor. Like in that game, halfway through the first half and into the second half, watching them target Aiden McGaney or whatever his name
Yeah.
is.
Going
Like
at him.
just whoever was on them, they got the ball and they were
He's a
shredding.
defensive he's a mismatch for anybody on our team. They could not, and you could tell early on too that PJ was like, and I think he has said that, like, most times it doesn't matter who's guarding him. He feels like,
Yeah.
"Hey, nobody can stop me." You could tell looking in his eyes after he made his first 2 drives and scored, he was like, "Yeah, this dude's not
This dude
he
can't
can't stop me."
he can't stop me.
And that, well, I mean, when guys are playing with confidence and they're having fun, you saw it today. Like, this could be scary. This team could be scary.
I agree,
Now
man.
we just got to worry about it's feast week like last year. We just got to worry now. Is UConn going to shit the bed like Michigan and Arkansas did last year, and this is going to turn out to be just like a meh win?
Whatever. Just go win games.
I don't think that's
I don't
happening.
think
But
that happens either.
um, I mean, just such an impressive performance, a huge win. I mean, this is one you look back in March and like
Yes.
it could be like a seed line change type of win. To be honest,
I will say this, man. Like, I just look at what the Tigers have done and what they did today, and I go, "At least we're not UAB."
I was
And just
literally about to say, how awesome is it? One, that we're in like, I know that Maui last year was very good, but this is an absolutely phenomenal stacked field.
it's an absurd
We
field.
won the first game against the back-to-back defending national champions who are number 2 in the country. And we're talking about the rest of our conference can't beat freaking Longwood. They can't beat freaking who else lost to Garbo teams? I mean, it's every single
FAU
day.
lost to a terrible team. I mean, dude,
The fact that
UAB was in the
anybody
7th they were in the
picked
7th place game in a Puerto Rico Classic today, and we're down by 7 points going with 6 minutes left in the game.
disgusting. I know they end up coming back and
They ended up
winning, but
blowing them out.
okay, they lost back-to-back game to 180 Longwood. They've already lost to 155 Vermont, lost to 128. They haven't Kenny, they haven't beaten a team that's ranked higher than 257 is their best win in
Come
KenPom
on.
right now.
Come on, man.
Louisiana was 270 today. They lost back-to-back to Longwood and Illinois State. People pick this team to win our conference. It is absurd. If the Tiger team that showed up today shows up all of AAC play, there's not a game that's within 10 points in that league.
I agree. And listen, there might be
There's not who they cannot defend any of us.
No.
You're not defending Dane. Moose is cleaning everything off the glass. Tyrese and PJ, who's nobody. They can't. There will not be a game within single digits if that team plays like that week in and week out in the A's.
And there's nothing telling me that they're not going to. Like, there's
I
no
know. I
you
am
don't
so
see you don't see lulls in the games like you did last year. You don't see the frustration on the court. You don't see
yeah,
constant communication, constant lifting each other up, constant locked in, focused, holding onto the rope. This is not like, let's not forget. Like, we can sit here and go, well, what about last year when they played Michigan in the Bahamas in the first round? It took an Ashton Hardaway burner, the best game he's ever played in his entire life, to win that game, right?
yeah,
Like, it wasn't like the Arkansas game. It wasn't like they just dominated. Then they come out and they get smoked by Villanova. I mean, it was
yeah,
like there were some deep concerns coming out of that Bahamas trip, right?
yeah.
Like, they weren't.
There were winning games, but there were still
You saw things that
worrisome
you're just
things
like,
that were happening that
the
you could
only
tell.
thing
Like,
the only thing that I look at and go, okay, what does this look like in later on down the line? It's just the minutes, man. It's just the minute distribution, and the like, they played 8 guys today, and they got to
yeah,
turn around tomorrow and play another
and
game.
yeah.
Like,
I
what?
mean, thankfully, you're not going to do this again until the conference tournament, and then even NCAA wise, you're getting a day in between them. So it's like
Right.
this is essentially a one time thing.
I agree.
The only thing to that I would say is literally foul trouble is the
Yeah.
only thing that worries me. Nick fouled out today. I made a joke of it. Somebody said, "Damn, Nick's fouled out," and I was like, "Is that such a bad thing?" I was joking. It's obviously a bad thing. Um, and then PJ fouling out. I'll be honest. When he fouled out and we went to overtime,
Thought it was over.
yep, I had zero faith that we were winning that game.
And PJ Carter.
And that's what I was about to, there are guys that just they fill in, they step in. When the dude went into overtime with 0 points and comes in, knocks down a 3, he finishes with 9. He knocks down a 3 and then goes 6 of 6 from the free throw line in overtime. Are you serious?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I mean, ice water in my dude's veins.
Just dumb.
You got good minutes out of everybody that played today.
Yes.
You did. And it's just this team, it's going to be foul trouble
Yep.
and injuries. I
It's
said
gonna
it
be it.
earlier. We'll see how it goes this week. I'm almost at a point where, like, let's be honest, I don't even really think it matters how the rest of this Maui goes too much. You got to, I mean, obviously,
I said the same thing. I said the
I would
same thing.
love, I think 2-1, you come out of here 2-1 at work, like, that's great. Even if you're 1-2, it is what it is. You got a really marquee big win today. Obviously, overtime, it's an emotional win. There's no telling what will happen tomorrow. We play Sparty. I think the only thing you can't, I'm saying I'll use can't loosely because it'll be whatever. But just, I don't want it to be like last year where you win 2 games and then it just leaves such a sour taste in your mouth getting run off the floor. Just don't do that. You can lose, but be competitive and play well. I don't even want to talk about losing because we're winning the damn thing. So we
Yeah.
got round 2 semifinals, 5 p.m. Central tomorrow versus Sparty. 3rd all-time matchup. We played them twice, 1-1 series. We absolutely ran them off the floor in the 08 NCAA tournament game. They absolutely ran us off the floor in like 2012 or 13 game.
Yep.
So here, if the pattern follows, I think it's our turn to run them off the floor.
Oh yeah, that's happening.
I didn't get to see a whole lot of their game against Colorado because we're having some washing machine issues here at the Lastly household that I'm trying to DIY. I'll tell you this. We bumped up to 29th in KenPom. Michigan State is 37th. Kenneth has got us at a 54% chance to win 75-74. Um,
What did they have this? What did they have UConn beating Memphis by? Because I know they were favorites.
yeah, I think Ken Pom had it at 6,
Okay.
and Bartorvik had it at 3, I want to say. Bartorvik actually has us losing by 1 to Michigan State tomorrow, but he's got Michigan State rated higher than us in his algorithm anyway. So I will say the difference 3-point wise between these two teams is glaring. Memphis is second overall in the country, shooting 48% from 3 through 5 games. You want to take a guess at what Michigan State currently is 3-point percentage wise through what are they, 4-1?
How many teams are there?
That's a good question. They're 5-1 in Ken Pom. Let me go all the way to the bottom. 364.
They're number 300.
Kenny, they are 362 in three-point percentage. They're literally 2 from last overall in all of college basketball. They shoot a whopping 20% from 3.
Let's
Which
go.
anybody listening that is a Memphis fan knows that they are going absolutely lights out from 3 tomorrow, because that
Hey,
is our life.
look,
Until I see it otherwise. I mean, today was a start. Getting to overtime without your best player, arguably, and still winning versus this team after what happened, all momentum being shifted to UConn at the end of that game and heading into overtime and still figuring out a way. If Michigan State comes out tomorrow and shoots their average at 20% and not 50%, then I might start getting rid of this woe is me fandom. I might be back all in on confident Tigs.
I need to ask you this. Like, what? So when the Tigers were up where they were up by 10 with 3 minutes left, something like that,
Yeah.
and then they started making their comeback. And in our Discord went ballistic, by the way. It just went crazy. Like,
I couldn't be in there. My heart rate was 165, steady 165.
I don't know how. Here we go again. Look at this
Oh,
bullshit.
there's no way every person that ever watches Memphis sports knew what was about to happen.
And I
We were all
said,
wrong this time, but we knew.
someone in the
Kenny, I'm not
Discord.
going to lie to you. I got on DraftKings. UConn was plus 1,200 with like a minute left, down 6.
You almost took it, huh?
No, I did take it.
Oh, you did?
Because I was thinking, even if they win this, at least I'll get $120 out of it. I will pay $10 all day to come out with that victory. So I took it as a little bit of a hedge to make myself feel better and get paid for it. But I'm glad I donated to the win.
What what is what needs to happen? So when all that was going down, I saw people. I remember 2008 against Kansas, and I'm like, okay, that's cool and all, but what needs to happen for that to stop? Like, for Tiger fans to not go, I remember 2008 when it comes to stuff like that, and just in that
Well,
moment.
for in-game scenarios like that not to happen, and maybe for us to have some go our way like that a couple times, I would say.
Okay.
But it just seems like, I mean, think about, and maybe it's just because we're Memphis fans, we feel like it only happens to us. I'm sure there are plenty of other teams that go through the same type of thing, but I'm just like, I
Right.
don't know, the Houston football game, freaking Seton Hall 2 years ago in Orlando, banking threes in and shit. Like,
Yeah.
just feel like stuff like that, it always happens. For one, I would like us to stop inbounding the ball into the corner down the stretch.
Yeah.
Um,
I can understand that.
but this was a step in the right direction. You weathered the storm. They made their little run. They sent it to overtime. Your best player was fouled out. Probably your best glue Swiss Army knife that does the little things that result in wins was fouled out. And you had other guys step up in big moments. And you had a coach go ballistic that helped out a little bit. But a win's a win. And now we
Yeah.
move on to Michigan State. How nuts would these 3 days be, Kenny, if we beat UConn today? There's a blue blood. They're recent blue blood, but they're in blue blood territory for sure. You get a shot at Michigan State and Tom Izzo tomorrow. Blue Blood 2.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you win that. Let's say North Carolina makes it all the way to the final. You play them Wednesday. That's Blue Blood number 3. You go 3-0 against Blue Bloods in 3 days. We're back. We're all the way back.
Extra back. Like, not even just like,
we
okay,
might
back.
be more back than we've ever been.
Back. We're back. Like, super back.
Fat back.
Fat back. Back shots back.
What? Okay.
What?
Back shots.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
It's not a thing?
What are you anticipating tomorrow for this Sparty matchup? What do you want to see?
I'll be frank with you, man. I've not seen a single minute of Michigan State. I didn't get to watch any of it today. We were on Tigers Live. We were watching Tiger. We were doing Tigers Live. Then I did On the Bluff. Now this podcast. So I'm sorry to all BCM fans. You're going to see me way too much over the next couple of days on BCM's network. But so I don't know anything about them. I do know Tom Izzo's teams. They're tough. Yeah. They rebound really well. So I mean that's going to be. I think that's a concern. I think we have sat here and we have praised Dane Danger for his game. I honestly think Musa did so much in the game today. Like, I think Musa's going to play a big role tomorrow. I think my questions about tomorrow revolve more around, can the Tigers recover from today more so than can.
I mean, physically, emotionally.
Physically recover.
You got two. We just talked about having the best backcourt in the country, and both of those guys are nursing nothing serious, just nagging knee stuff. So it's like, to this point, we know they haven't been practicing, right? They've been kind of taking it easy, and you've been playing games up until now, essentially a week apart, right? So they're playing a game, they're going hard, they're recovering, they're getting treatment, and then they're playing a week later. So you turn around and play essentially 24 hours later after you just played a 40-plus minute night. Like, I think that's going to be the key is how are they recovering? How are they going to come out of that? And then to me, we already talked about it. It's 3-point shooting. The Tigers are making their threes and they can hold Michigan State to shoot their average of 20%.
It might not be a 10-point game. Like, it might be double digits. Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying I haven't watched enough of Michigan State to know, but I just find it hard to believe that we would lose to a team that shot 20% from 3. Now they do rebound, especially offensively on the glass at a high percentage. So you're going to have to, again, kind of stick with it and stay in the rebounding game. You can't be letting them jack up threes and missing them and then just getting bunnies off of those misses.
But that's where the guards, I mean, we're talking about what I said earlier. I think the Tigers have one of the toughest backcourts in the entire country. These toughest guys,
teams,
they don't back down. I mean, dude, they were roundly expected to get smoked by UConn on the glass, and they didn't.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean,
that's all. Yeah, a little bit of that is both teams shot real well today too. But I mean, if you're shooting, I got to look and see what Michigan State just shot in their game. But if you shoot 20% from 3 in the freaking Lahaina Civic Center in Hawaii with those loose ass rims, you got problems. You just can't shoot. They were 2 of 11 for 9.5%. No, 2 of 21 for 9.5% today from 3.
They better not shoot that badly against us. They better not.
That let's talk about how impressive that is. How do you shoot 2 of 21 from 3 and beat a team by 16? Who's not bad. I mean, Colorado's not a bad basketball team.
They must suck. Who have they played?
That's a good question. I don't know. They're sitting at 68 in KenPom. Or no, now they're 83 because they just got their asses handed to them. They hadn't really beaten anybody either. Best win is Northern Colorado, who they beat in double overtime.
Come on, man.
And Northern Colorado's 134 in KenPom. So
stay on that side, baby.
That's going to be, then goodness gracious, they got to play UConn tomorrow. Not a chance in hell they ever thought that they were playing UConn.
No. unless they beat Michigan State.
Yeah, which I guess maybe they thought they would beat Michigan State, but No chance they thought they were going to lose a game and then play UConn.
I'll say this. So you saw the podcast interview that I did with Dave Borges from UConn, a beat writer, the CT Insider.
Yeah.
I've reached out to all the beat writers. Some of them are beat writers are just weird, bro. Like they're just weird people. Like it's like just
sorry, Roman.
No, not Roman. Roman's not. Well, Roman's weird in his own way, and he knows it. It's all good.
Beat writers are weird.
Well, some of them are, but none of the beat writers that cover Memphis are weird. But I reached out to the Colorado guys and said, if just so happened to meet up with Colorado, I'd love to interview you. And their response was, it ain't happening.
Yeah, they're in the middle of Dion hype, and even though they just lost to Kansas, but
right,
there's no way they. I guess if they're only the beat writer for basketball, but all right, we'll see what happens. This is dropping Tuesday, so the game will be later today. What time do we drop? 3? We got 2 hours to game time. Well, probably now you're sitting at an hour. Give me an official score pick, Kenny. You saw it. You already heard it. Ken Palm's got a 1-point game, 75-74 Tigs. Oh, it's updated to a loss now. What the hell is going? No, sorry, I'm on the wrong one. No, he's got it as a win, 75-74. I'm looking at Michigan State's profile. That's why.
80-73 Memphis.
The line's gonna be. It's gonna be like a pick'em, maybe Memphis -1.5, and another San Fran type of game. I don't hate that pick. I kind of feel like just given what happened today, it may not be as high scoring. So I'm gonna say like 72-67 Tigs.
Okay, I like that. It's not bad.
We'll see though. If we win this thing, I'm meeting the freaking team at Wilson Air on Thanksgiving. I don't care when they get back. I'll be in there. And y'all better be too. Freaking support this team. No matter what happens the rest of Maui.
Y'all come out and support this team, dude.
Freaking be at the FedEx Storm Wednesday, December the 4th against Louisiana Tech because they're a damn good sneaky ball club. We play the worst. Get this. The worst team we have left, metrics-wise, in our out-of-conference. Do you know who it is?
Is it Louisiana Tech?
No, it's Virginia at 107 in Ken Palm. Is the worst-rated team we have left.
Good God, and they're a national champion winner. That's crazy, dude. That's wild.
So get out to the freaking Forum next week, no matter how the rest of this goes, because this team plays freaking hard, and they're fun. It's going to be a fun year.
They're fun, dude. They're fun.
That's the biggest thing. When you're having fun, you're winning. You win, and the team, the fans have fun. It's enjoyable. Everybody loves it. I'm looking forward to the rest of this freaking.
There is nothing like.
I hope we win the Maui, but
there's nothing like seeing Tiger Blue on the road like that, like in the crowd, like with the.
Yep.
Our fans travel so well. It is awesome.
They do. That's awesome. One of my favorite parts of the Maui.
Yes.
Is that it's such an intimate gym, but that they put both of the opposing teams right behind their bench.
Yes.
And the camera faces it.
Yes.
Right. So you can see the contingency of 1,000 or 750 Memphis and UConn fans right by each other. And
shout out
loud in there.
Shout out to the Memphis fans
like
that
fun.
Shout out to the Memphis fans that are in Maui. Y'all looked damn good on TV.
Yeah. Keep showing out. Don't forget to DM me the dude Zimfo that had on the Peyton Manning.
We got to get him a jersey ASAP.
My guy was so hype. I mean, there's no way he's not wearing Memphis gear tomorrow.
It has to be. I need the rebound. I need my folks at the Rebounders to get him geared up, man.
Hook him up, or don't my man. Don't even wear his shirt tomorrow. Just paint up.
Yeah, man.
Get that dude painted up.
You were super live. That was awesome.
Him on his chest. All right. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we talk a little bit of the other half of Feast Week. We got a Turkey Day showdown.
Ooh, the only game on Turkey Day.
I don't want to bring the mood down, but
we're not bringing the mood down.
I ain't necessarily looking forward to it, Kenny.
It's not great. Grade 3 is about as severe as you could get. There's a grade 4, but that comes with an avulsion where the ligament not only ruptures, but it pulls some bone off. So thankfully we didn't get that.
That can
They
happen?
called it oh yeah. So they called it a grade 3, which means basically that there is a ligament that runs from the long shin bone and it connects your shin bone to your foot to make it as easy as I possibly can. And it's about that big. Well, when you roll that ankle, it'll get stretched. And that's what Zach Edey did. That's what most of us has done in our athletic career. What Vince actually did is ruptured that little ligament. We'll call it the ATFL. He ruptured that. So there's going to have to be some healing. The body's going to have to lay down some collagen fibers, some scar tissue to try and get that thing to reconnect. Basically, yes, we're reevaluating him in 4 weeks. I'll be shocked if we see him playing any sooner than 6, probably 8 weeks.
Tune into the Daily Grind with your host, Lute Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Joe Mazzulla says he wants some rule changes. He wants the league to add a power play where a guy would like sit out, like potentially for a possession. And he wants to bring back fighting. He said the biggest thing that we rob people of from an entertainment standpoint is that you can't fight anymore. I wish you could bring back fighting.
No, that tells me.
What?
They don't got shit else to do because they just win so easily.
He's bored.
They got nothing else to do. Like this is like every other coach in the NBA, the other 29 coaches in the NBA are trying to figure out how can my team get better?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How can we ascend to being a championship team? Joe Mazzulla sitting back like, bring back fighting.
Let's bring back fighting.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and know what? How about we take one player off the court and see can you play 5-on-4 long enough and can you score? Bro, that means your team is that good that you literally got to sit back and create.
Think of rule changes.
And try to create a disadvantage to yourself so that the game can be even. Your team is that much better than the rest of the teams. He literally has come up with some off-the-wall shit because we're that good. Like, I mean, look, we go into the office, I say, well, put forth the game plan. It's like, how about we not play this guy tonight? You think they can get close to us if we don't play him?
Man, Joe was
Joe, 29 other people wish they had your issues right now.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. I have a question for you. What do you feel about detachable wallets for phones?
That looked like it detached way too easily.
To
be honest, for me to be comfortable with it.
That thing is.
I'm just saying, like in your pocket though, I feel like that came off pretty easily.
I'm just really strong.
I've never been a phone wallet guy. It makes sense, I think.
Yeah,
you find one that's good, but it's never been my thing.
It's a new thing I got, and I kind of dig it because
it flips too.
Yeah, and it holds the one thing that's bad. The one thing that's bad about most of these is that they only carry like 3 cards.
See, that's the problem.
This thing carries 10.
Wow.
So
I've got 10 cards.
I mean, I don't have 10 cards either, but
I applied.
I applied for 5 more today just because I have room now in my wallet.
You got to fill the slots up.
Just fill the slots up. Yeah. Sorry.
Maui update. I don't know if you've seen this, but Iowa State is thumping Auburn at the half, 49-33.
The question is did Auburn fight in the locker room during halftime?
Or in the plane ride over.
Or in the plane
ride. That's a lengthy plane ride. And they usually don't make it very far from the home airport before they start scuffling.
Do they take, like, you know how Penny said last year there's team lineups I can't play together because the guys don't like each other? Do they take separate
flights
planes?
that I can't fly guys together?
Do they take hey, plane A, this is who's on plane A.
You guys are leaving at... It's like the Amazing Race. They have to leave at specific designated times.
That's exactly what happens with Auburn, I think. I feel for them.
Kenny, we might be in trouble.
What happened?
Natalie has left to run an errand, and young William we've got movement and some noise happening. We better get on it.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. No, just play.
We're good. I think he's settling in. Okay. Just some moving, readjusting. We got a big Turkey Day showdown right after we win the Maui.
Let's go to the Big Easy. Let's go to the Big Easy and get a dub there. Ruin some Tulane dreams.
Are we going to be able to do that? What's the line sitting at now? Because it opened disgustingly disrespectful at 14.5. I don't think it's that high anymore.
It's at 14. It was at 14.
Is it seriously? I thought I saw it earlier at 10.5.
No, it's back up to 14.5.
Oh, good gracious.
It was at 14 yesterday, and now it's back up to 14.5.
That is literally disgusting.
That is rough. They've given Memphis a 13% chance to win this.
Holy cow! Yeah, 86.4% for Tulane to win. 6:30 on ESPN, which was set up to be a huge crucial
matchup, yes,
American determining game. But Army and Tulane are already both locked into the American Championship. Really, all you're playing for is to, if Boise were to lose, knock Tulane out of the college football playoff scenario. So I'm all in for
how does Boise lose? Oh, if the Tigers win, they knock Tulane out.
Right. If Tulane's currently the next highest rated conference leader. So if we theoretically beat them, they have 3 losses. I don't think there's any way they're getting in.
No, they wouldn't get in.
I mean, I don't think Boise's losing anyway. But I don't know. We'll see. We could be spoiler. This Tulane team's good. It's frustrating.
They're very good.
I mean, they are beating the brakes off of American teams
that we're fighting tooth and nail with.
Yeah.
Not to be Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Tiger football team, but I mean the numbers are. If we believe in football math, like the Tigers went to the mattresses with Charlotte, and Tulane beat.
I mean they struggled. They beat North Texas by 8 a month ago. They beat Rice 24-10, but since then, our last 3 games, they're outscoring opponents.
That was when
120-9.
That was when Menza was out. Is it Menza? Is their quarterback? That was when he was out. He was out for those. He's back
he
now.
Left early, but he's been their highest rate. Their passing leader every week.
I thought he was hurt for a couple of weeks. That's when they struggled. Is that not right?
Mm-hmm. He led the team in passing against Rice with 152. Led him against North Texas 175.
Okay.
Maybe he didn't play all of those games. I don't know, but he's their leading passer in every game.
I'll be frank with you. I haven't watched a whole lot of Tulane this year. Once the Tigers lost to UTSA, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's just not the game we thought it was going to be. What are they currently ranked? Like 18th, I think, or something.
Yeah, they're way up there.
Makai Hughes is probably going to run all over us. He's good. He's got 1,300 yards, 15 tutties. I don't know. It just feels different. It's not as exciting. Obviously, I'm going to watch. It's the only college football game on. It is cool to be in the national spotlight. Hopefully, they come out. We pull out a victory as a 2-touchdown underdog on the road in front of a national audience. But let's be honest, even if they win that game, I don't know that I'm going to be terribly excited about it. We're not. I mean, I'm just being honest. We're not playing for anything, really.
No,
it's
sorry.
It's not fun to play to just be like the party ruiner.
I know nobody wants to be a party ruiner. Tired of that role.
Going to the party.
Let me be the party host. That's what I would like to be. I saw the Auburn player just accidentally kick the fan in the head.
When he put his face in his hands.
Yeah, it was funny. It made me laugh.
Yeah, that was good. I don't know what to say. It's bringing me down off such a high. Today was a great day. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that we probably lose. I don't
14.5 is crazy.
I don't see us losing by more than 2 touchdowns. I mean, it feels like it's a 10-point game, like a 10-11, 35-24 or something.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine. I don't think that we go down there and win. I think they're too good. They've been beating everybody by 30 plus.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating because you feel like what they are doing is what you should have been doing. And I know we keep talking about that, but that's the truth of the matter. And I think right now, if you look at like Brett McMurphy, he's got us projected to play. We might become the Aloha Tigers given Maui, and then we go to the Hawaii Bowl.
Let's go.
He's got us projected to play Colorado State, and I think favored by 6.5 or something if that game were today. So
start having conversations about who's going to play in that game then. Like which Tigers would go play.
Yeah. That's real stuff. I mean, I hate to be this down about it, but I'm honestly just more so looking forward to the off season and seeing what we do portal wise and that kind of thing, to be honest with you at this point.
Yeah, wasn't there
That's just where I'm at.
There was a report that a quarterback was in communication with the Tigers, right?
There's been a couple. I think it's a Georgia. No, there's been a quarterback and some running backs, right?
Yeah, a running back from Georgia State, Georgia Southern.
I think, yeah.
And then apparently there's a report.
What's the Boston College quarterback's name?
Yeah, Paul something. Is it Paul? Boston.
No,
Thomas Castellanos.
Yeah. I don't know what the connection is or if there is one, or maybe it's just our NIL, but there were betting markets that had us as like the third favorite to land him.
I would be very interested to see what I don't even want to talk about off-season Tiger football stuff yet. They got a game.
We're not getting there. I'm just saying, like, honestly, at this point, like that's what let's see what we're able to do and what we can put together for next season. I'm going my official prediction. Tulane beats us 35-24. What's yours?
I just think Tulane is too good, and I think they have something to play for. And I think that
they 100% do. That's the problem. If we both had something to play for, I think it's different. It's just like we don't, and they still do. Like they still have a real shot at. I mean, they're going to need some help from Boise losing, but they got a real shot at winning and making it.
I think Tulane covers.
I
think it's 38-23.
Wow. Well, that leads us, Kenny, great segue into Fade TJ Thunder picks. I can't remember what TJ picked last week, but I gave you Florida plus 10.5.
What did TJ pick last week? Did he pick? No, because Memphis was off. Who did he pick? Anyway, go ahead.
He did initially pick Memphis when we kind of told him he couldn't do it.
That's right.
He was 2 weeks old.
That's right.
But given your pick, and we texted TJ earlier to give us an official pick, and he is now flip-flopped, and he is taking Tulane minus 14 as Fade TJ's. Maybe that's a little bit of a reverse psychology by TJ.
Oh, wow.
TJ,
that is right.
Happens,
that is right.
Opposite.
Should I change mine up? Should I change my score so I don't match his score? Or not his score, but his... I mean, I guess I didn't pick... It's not a... That's crazy.
That's up to you.
No, I'll keep it.
If y'all both think you can cover. I'll be honest, I hadn't really looked at the board this week. I'm on a heater though, because Florida won. I think I'm like 10-2 at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe 9-3.
Yeah.
Good. I kind of like.
You've had a good year.
I kind of like East Carolina +1 at home against Navy. East Carolina's won like 3 or 4 in a row. And they're taking the interim tag off. Oh, boy.
Are they?
Yeah. I think they announced that yesterday. There are a lot. When I say a lot, is every single college football game this week being played at 11 a.m.? Holy Toledo. I'm running into Friday games. That's fine. There's still a lot of 11 a.m. Friday games.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving holidays, man.
Yeah, I forget about that. You know what? For shits and gigs, I'm going East Carolina. If you want to take them the +1.5 or +1, or if you want to take the money line's better odds. We'll just take money line. East Carolina at home hosting Navy. It's the fish.
I'm not a bettor, but I'm gonna go.
You were looking at the board. I didn't know where this was going. I just realized what you were doing.
I'm looking at the board. I'm going NFL.
Wow. Kenny could go undefeated.
I'm gonna go undefeated this year. I'm gonna go. Okay,
Are you doing a turkey day?
Let me get my verbiage right. Yeah, I'm gonna go. All right, so the spread in the Giants Cowboys game is Dallas -4.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Giants. So if I think the Giants are gonna win that game, do I say Giants cover? How do I say that?
If you think they're just going to win outright,
I think they're going to outright win.
Then I would take money line. I would say Giants money line at +164. That means you bet 100, you get 164 back.
That's what I'll do.
So
in
total you'd get 264. If you think that if you want to be a little bit more conservative and just say they cover, they could lose by a field goal and you still win.
I'm going to say Giants.
It's not as good odds though.
Giants in the money line.
There you go. I don't hate it. I do think I saw some people tweeting this. It would have been absolutely hilarious for the Cowboys to
go get Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Would have been phenomenal television.
How badly do you think the Giants executives feel? They signed their quarterback to a massive deal, let Saquon Barkley go, and then the quarterback doesn't even make it through the
As
season.
a Giants fan, I can't even imagine what it's like watching Saquon go off. I mean, my guy had 260 and 2 touchdowns last night. Filthy work.
Just filthy work. What is the score? What's Baltimore doing right now? Okay, Baltimore's beating the Chargers.
17-16, I think.
So, friend of the program, of the Tigers Untapped program, compatriot at Bluff City Media, Brevin Knight, the co-host of the Night Court podcast, is a massive Giants fan. And 3 weeks ago, he rocked the NFL community by switching his allegiances. He became a Baltimore fan because he just couldn't handle the New York Giants.
How did he determine Baltimore though?
I don't know. I've never asked him that. He just announced it on the
no
podcast.
process.
He said, "I'm done with the Giants. They think he said the executives think they're smarter than everybody else. I can't do this anymore. I'm a Baltimore fan."
Okay.
Baltimore's lost 3 straight weeks since he became a Baltimore fan.
Hey, well, Brevin's out here looking for his first win right now. He's good.
Shout out, Brev.
They're up 17-16 with 12.5 left in the ball game.
If you like Brevin, go check him out. He is the commentator. If you don't know who Brevin Knight is, I don't know what to tell you, but Brevin Knight is the commentator for the Grizzlies.
There's no way somebody's listening to this and doesn't know who Brevin Knight is.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, unless you just stumbled upon the video and you don't even know what Kenny and I are talking about.
I'll be filming with Brevin Knight tomorrow morning at his spot. So yes, sir. Let's go. Night Court.
After it. All right, Kenneth. It's that time. I'm not even. I think it does taste sweeter because of the sweet victory today, but this was good. This tangerine cream sour. It is not overly sour. There's a little bit of cream taste in there. And a whole lot of tangerine.
Does the cream and the sour, does it kind of counterbalance?
They kind of neutralize each other.
Yeah.
It's not I think that's why it's not overly sour, is because of the tangerine creaming. That's good though. I think we've talked about this before, the Grind City. When the companies start going with these very similar cans, it's just
not a fan of that.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan. I know it's Gator Patrol, and that has nothing to do with Tennessee, but the fact that it's orange and white is giving me real Tennessee vibes. I also know that it's tangerine, so it makes sense for it to be that way.
Not to take you away from this, but did you see the Tennessee fans doing the Gator chop last weekend?
I did not.
Did you see the video?
No.
It made me lose so much more. I don't like Tennessee
because
fans
they beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, because Florida beat Ole Miss. They did the Gator chop. They had the game plan at Neyland and did the Gator chop in the middle.
Yeah, there's
screw them.
Yeah,
Come on.
You can't do that. You can't.
Sorry, go
That's
ahead with
just-
your review. I just thought that was absurd.
That is ridiculous. I'm just not feeling it. This is like a 5.3 on the can scale.
It's the color. The color's just.
It is. Yeah, I think it really is. Maybe it was orange and something else, but the orange and white is just not. I do like the font that the Gator Patrol is written in, though.
See, I like the fonts on the Grind City cans. The Grind City cans fonts. I don't even mind the actual like look of the can, like the kind of the single color, like because it's very distinctive when you go in and you see it.
Yeah,
that color just doesn't do it for me.
It doesn't. I really, yeah. I think it's Gator Patrol. It should have been like a light green.
Right.
Update here in Maui. Auburn has stormed all the way back in 4.5 minutes the second half.
Is it
They just got fouled. They just got fouled on a 3, chance for a 4-point play to cut it to a 3-point ball game.
Wow.
So Maui's getting lit. Big man
Maui's
out of
getting
Maui.
spicy.
Speaking of which, the last game, what time it starts tonight?
10:30, 9:30 Central, right? So
I think it's
UNC versus
no, I think it's 10:30 Central, which is ultimately probably going to be about 11. I am so damn glad that's not us. And I feel real bad for the UNC fans because that's going to be midnight for them, tip-off time.
North Carolina, Dayton.
Yep. Although this beer was delicious. I would if I had another one downstairs, I might go get it right now. This is very good.
You're also in celebratory mode. Like you're in full on celebration mode.
Yes, I am. I like tangerines. The tangerine cream is almost dreamsicle-ish. I like that it's got that little bit of sour in there. I know TJ's not a big sour guy, so he may not have rated this one very well.
He did not rate it high.
I'm gonna put this high because this is good. I enjoyed it. I would drink it again. I would have drank the rest of TJ's if he hadn't finished it. I mean, this is like a 7.7.
Whoa.
I'm in heaven.
Wow.
Maui, wowie, bowie. I liked it. This was good stuff.
Okay, there's a little bit of Maui bias to it, right? Like that score. 7.7's high.
TJ, if you're listening, then we know that you are, and you need to put an asterisk.
That might be an asterisk
in the spreadsheet that says post UConn throttling beer, then that so be it. Maybe I added 0.5 to it.
Hey, everything tastes a little bit better. Everything tastes a little bit better.
A little bit sweeter.
Where's my water? This is Carnival water right here. It's tasted sweet tonight.
It's better than that Germantown water. Got that gasoline in it.
It's got that fluoride in it.
Oh, brother. Kenny, what do you say we go win this damn thing? Come back from Maui with a little bit of hardware and a banner.
When are you going to join the Tigers Live show? I'm calling you out. When are you going to join the Tigers Live show after? What do they have to do? What do the Tigers have to do for Trey Lasley to show up on the Tigers Live show, post-game show?
I would have joined today. I made a comment in there, but I was driving home and I didn't feel that it was appropriate for me to get into a live videoed show while I was driving my vehicle. 2 nights ago, or when we played San Fran last week, I forgot that you sent me the link, and I was laying in bed. I was actually going to join from my bed because I thought it would have been funny.
It would have been very funny because Natalie would have punched you probably.
Look, I will. See, I would say that if we win tomorrow, I'll join, but that it'll be right during bedtime. Maybe if I can get Catherine to sleep, because you guys go about an hour. If I can get Catherine to sleep before you're up, I'll join tomorrow if we win.
Let's go.
If we win the Maui, I'm 100% on. I'll be on the whole show if we win Maui.
You just added extra motivation, bro.
I will be on the whole post-game show if we win.
Let's go.
And that'll be a long show. We might run 6 or 7 hours on.
We might go 6 or 7 hours. Yeah, that might be a 6 or 7 hour one.
It may be a live show until the team plane lands. I don't know when they're even leaving. Are they spending an extra day in Maui? Because that might be a long.
That might be a long show.
Do you know when they come home?
I haven't heard. I'll find out.
They probably stay Thursday and come back like Friday, I would say.
I would. Why not?
Yeah. That makes sense. We'll figure it out. Tune in tomorrow, 5 o'clock Central. We take on Sparty. Look to move to 2-1 all time against the Izzos. Let's win this damn thing. Come back with a cold beer, some hot takes, and a Maui Invitational title next week. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.